Oh, good morning, good morning. Thursday, 24th September 2020. This, sometimes you start a job and you think, won't take long. And you open a box and you find some more screwdrivers, and you open a box and you find some more pipe grips and cutters and it sort of goes on and on and on. The job grows. Never mind, it's all good fun. One of the good pieces of news is I did find, amongst all of my pile of crud, that's actually the blade that I'd previously taken out of my table saw. And I was looking at it, and it's better than the one that's in it, and it's the right size, and I think I can duff it up a bit with a file and it will do what I want it to do, which is cutting firewood at the moment. So that was good. What else did I discover? Oh, mop heads. That's really handy, mop heads, if you've got a mop. Little device, and I actually don't know what that is. If any of you can give me some advice on it. It says on it that Guinness is good for you. That could be a clue, I suppose. As a screwdriver, that bit's in the way, so I don't know. But something that I found... Where are we? Now, I say found, I wasn't actually looking for it, but I came across it. And I thought that would be an interesting thing to show you how to use it. I know what it is, I know some of you know what it is, but it's very much an obsolete piece of equipment, because these days we don't buy the sort of quality tools that need sharpening and setting. What I'm going to do later, this is a horrible, cheap, nasty, seriously cheap, nasty saw, so it won't upset me if I ruin it. But I thought, as I found a saw set, I might just file up the teeth on this saw and set them. But in the background we can hear, you might not be able to, I can hear it, the church bell ringing the Angelus, which is the signal for all the faithful to stop what they're doing, and, well, those that want to, down on your knees. Oh, and those that prefer to chase leaves, well, I guess you could just carry on. He's a little bit confused at the moment because his brother has gone to a new home. His brother was pretty confused as well. Well, lunch has been had, and I attacked the teeth with a file. Not really the right thing to do, should really use a very fine grinder, but you don't normally resharpen these saws. These are priced to use and throw away, and this one's been abused cutting stone and all sorts of things. But anyway, I've run a file over all of the teeth, in fact. Yeah, some of them have suffered a bit where I've abused this saw. Now, this little gizmo, which once upon a time every carpenter had, the idea is you put it on the saw blade and you squeeze it in. Let's put that there so that it grips the blade, and then there's a little sort of pin on the top that puts a kink. It pushes the tooth so that the teeth... Where have you just come from? Yes, obviously bored with saw sharpening. That's it, scratch. Get rid of some fleas. Yeah. So you squeeze and that pushes the saw blade over. It is adjustable. You can undo this screw and that allows you to adjust that block up and down for different sorts of saws, to put a different set on different saws. You know, this goes back to the days when a proper carpenter had a rip saw and a crosscut saw and all sorts of wonderful tools. Nowadays, of course, we all have a handheld circular saw and a Midas. You know, nowadays we don't do it. But what we're going to do now is set the teeth. Now, of course, one of the things you've got to remember is one tooth goes one way and the one next to it goes the other. So you sort of work down one way, setting, skip one, go on to the next one. And what it does, it puts that tooth sticking out wider than the thickness of the blade and allows you to cut. And once you've worked your way down the teeth that go out one way, you turn round, or you can turn the saw round, I suppose, and you set the others back the other way. Yeah, this will take a little while and it's repetitive, so I'll turn you off and put you down. I guess the next thing to do is the proof of the pudding. Yeah, bit of firewood. You don't normally sharpen these saws. If we look carefully, you can see that the tips broke off some of those teeth. Yeah, hardened saws, you buy them, you use them, you throw them away, you buy a new one. And that's actually cost effective, because if you price my time, which I don't, but if you did, it's cheaper to buy a new saw. Anyway, let's see what this does. Well, there we are, folks. I can tell you it cut better than it did, but you know, I'm going to get the circular saw fixed for doing me firewood with.